Bitcoin ETFs see their highest gross inflow day ever at over $1 billion. Will Grayscale's new Bitcoin mini trust allow us to see our first net inflow day of $1 billion? Demand for Bitcoin continues to explode, while supply on exchanges continues to dwindle, while the U.S. debt bubble nears a breaking point. With inflation numbers continuing to rise, no politician can point at the other party and say it's their fault. We go back into history and look into how we got into this U.S. debt mess in the first place. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Bitcoin Daily Show. I'm Dante Cook, head of Swan Business. As always, if you have questions about Bitcoin, whether you're a beginner or whether you're an expert, please send us an email at daily@swanbitcoin.com, and I personally will respond to your email. And with that, let's get into the show. Just this morning, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon switched his tune about the pet rock and says that he defends U.S. citizens' rights to buy Bitcoin and smoke cigarettes. What a change from this interview here.
Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud. It's a pet rock.
You're back to that?
Yeah,
really?
Of course, yeah.
Bitcoin has a way of changing everybody's mind. And you know what? As they say, everyone buys Bitcoin at the price they deserve. And what my mom always told me, Jamie, never say never. And either way, Jamie, it doesn't matter whether you're buying personally or not, because other institutions are, like Patient Capital Management, who filed to use up to 15% of their $1.4 billion fund to buy spot Bitcoin ETFs with. Speaking of ETFs, the 9 new ETFs had their highest day of gross inflows ever at $1 billion. The total net inflows for the day were not its highest ever because we had GBTC outflows of $494 million. To stop the bleeding and to make their offering more competitive, Grayscale just filed to launch their new Grayscale Mini Bitcoin Trust Fund. The idea is that they would make their fees more competitive with the rest of the market, and existing shareholders will have the opportunity to transfer for shares of the new Bitcoin Mini Trust Fund at a much lower percentage without paying taxes. If this mini trust is approved, this should absolutely slow the selling pressure from GBTC and actually lead us to our first $1 billion day of net inflows. We're calling it here first. Although GBTC has bled out over $11 billion since the spot Bitcoin ETFs have launched, they're still the 800-pound gorilla with over $28 billion in assets under management compared to BlackRock's $10.5 billion. I wonder what the fees of this new mini trust will be. Maybe they'll take a page from the playbook of Van Eck, whose spot Bitcoin ETF ticker is HODL, who said that they would lower their fees to 0% for the next year. And you know what happened? Their average inflows increased by 20x yesterday. What if that were to happen from GBTC's shareholder base? It would be absolutely massive. Demand for Bitcoin ETFs continues to rise, as well as the supply on exchanges continuing to dwindle. And then you pair that with the backdrop of U.S. debt ballooning to rates we've never seen before. And you get a perfect storm where Bitcoin's price could take off faster than boats in Thailand with a Cummins 5.9-liter engine strapped to the back. The U.S. debt is adding $1 trillion every 100 days, according to this analysis and chart from Robert Sterling. Although some people cite the rising inflation and money printing as a Bidenomics issue, it's a bipartisan issue. Let's take a look at how we actually got here in the first place. The acceleration of money printing started under George W. Bush, a Republican president. When George Bush came into office, there was less than $6 trillion worth of debt in the U.S. economy. But thanks to funding the war in Afghanistan and the search for weapons of mass destruction, that debt ballooned to $9 trillion when he exited office. Then, when Obama joined office in 2008, a Democratic president, because of the great financial crisis and the money printing that came from it, U.S. debt grew to $20 trillion under President Obama. And during the Trump administration, the debt grew from $20 trillion to roughly $27 trillion. And since Joe Biden has taken office, it's grown to roughly $34 trillion. So who's to blame? Democrats, Republicans, or a completely broken monetary system? This isn't a partisan issue. This is a money issue. This isn't just a U.S. issue. This is a global issue. The excessive money printing is leading to inflation being sticky everywhere around the world. Look at this chart from the U.S. core CPI. They'll tell you that CPI is going down. What they won't mention is that CPI has been stuck over 3% for the last 9 months. And if you zoom in on that chart a little bit, it appears to be reaccelerating, something we'll keep our eyes on in this show. And no matter what they say about it going down, it just means that you are being debased at a slower rate. And why is inflation sticky? Why is it rising? And why are you continuing to be debased? According to research from Jury and Timmer, a research analyst from Fidelity, liquidity is on the rise again. He says that liquidity has been rising since mid-2023, taking stocks with it. But you know what's also been rising with liquidity? Bitcoin. Since mid-2023, it's up roughly 160%. On days like this, where there's not a lot happening, there might be some sideways to downward price action, I think of this return from Joe Adams from Arkansas against Tennessee.
Line drive punt taken at the 40. That's Adams. Trying to reverse this field, but everybody's staying home. Now he does a tightrope act. Boy, Houdini's in the house, wearing number 3, and nobody's home to watch that house. Touchdown, Hogs!
Don't lose sight of the ball, which is Bitcoin. Shake the haters and mainstream media FUD about Bitcoin from traditional TradFi talking heads. Shrug off the texts from family members and friends telling you that you're an idiot for not selling Bitcoin and the price is just going to crash from here. And hodl your way all the way to a bright orange future. If you're enjoying the content from these videos, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're on a mission to teach the world about Bitcoin, and it'll help us teach more people here on YouTube and cut through all the noise that's out there. You deserve the best asset in the world, and you deserve the best education. Swan's the place to get it. Thanks for watching with us.
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team f***ing here. We started from the bottom, now it's here. Started from the bottom, now Bitcoin's motherfucking here. We started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team f***ing here. Positions from the bottom, now it's clear. And we started from the bottom, now Bitcoin's motherfucking here. I done kept it real from the jump. Telling you this currency keep raising every month. Niggas sitting on my gods on my own. Trading all night, flipping coins on the low. And the best keep trying to find my money stash. But the SHA encrypted keeps securing all my stacks. Nigga, better watch your money before it's gone. While we on the road to $500,000 for a coin. Cause we started from the bottom, now we here.